Hey, Tommy from the Run Testers, and welcome to the monthly roundup for February. This is the video where we talk about all of the things that we've been testing out over the past month or so that we haven't been able to mention in other videos. So it would be everything from clothing to fueling to tech, basically anything that we like that we've been using for the past few weeks that we really like and want to tell you about. Right, let's dive in and find out what we all picked this month.
My first pick this month is the Sealskinz Acle gloves, A-C-L-E, not sure how you say that. They are a pretty good pair of running gloves that are fairly lightweight, but not as lightweight as others. I don't tend to get on very well with very lightweight running gloves because my hands are really cold, and even when it's quite mild, I'd like a slightly thicker pair of gloves. And these are slightly thicker, and they're water repellent, and that just means they're a little bit warmer than a traditional lightweight running glove. They're not going to keep your hands really dry and warm if it gets very wet and cold. Sealskinz has some more bulky options that I like the bottom for that, actually cycling gloves, but I like them a lot for running as well. But these are kind of the perfect balance for me because they are quite a tight-fitting glove that leaves you fairly dexterous. You can use a foam with them. They have the ever-present touch-sensitive panels and all this silicone padding there, so anything that goes in your hand isn't going to fall out of it immediately. But they are nice and light on the glove. They've got a fleece lining, so they feel really cozy, and like I say, they're water repellent, which just makes them a little bit more warm than some of the really lightweight running gloves out there. So I used these for a 24 miler at the weekend, and it was started in 0 degrees centigrade and then stayed around that for the whole run, and it kept my hands nice and warm. And also they have the dexterity that I could go and grab drinks and gels from my backpack and stuff like that throughout the run without having to take my gloves off every single time, which is quite annoying. And you can use a foam with them. It's still quite hard to use a foam with any gloves, even ones that are as kind of thin like these, but it is possible to do the odd thing on a phone here and there. So yeah, all around, I think they're a really good pair of running gloves where they're not going to be too warm for most people, but they are warm enough for someone like myself who tends to get very cold hands on the run and usually has to go beyond the very thin lightweight gloves out there for running. My second pick is the Nedao FlexFit half-length running tights V2. These are obviously half tights from a brand called Nedao, who I hadn't heard of before. They reached out via Instagram, and I thought I'd try the shorts because they are high storage shorts, which I do love a lot, especially during marathon training like I'm doing at the moment. You've got a big drop-in pocket on either side of the leg, which can take a phone or a gel or even a small soft flask, and then a large pocket around the back. It's a one long thin pocket with 3 openings, so you can stash a bit of clothing through that and bring it up through one of the openings to keep it safe, or put a big soft flask in there. So that's what I've been using them for. Lots of long workouts at the moment, going over 20 kilometers where I'm be running quite hard. I don't really want to carry a backpack or anything like that, so I've been popping a soft flask in the back of these shorts, phone on one side, and it means you can run hard whilst having the sports drink or whatever it is you need with you to keep fueling throughout the workout. They're made from very thin and comfortable material, which dries very quickly as well. It has a good racy feel to it, so you can go out and run fast. The bright blue is a bit of a statement, but I'm generally okay with that kind of thing on the run. If I'm running, I'm not too bothered what I look like, and they are really comfortable. So I've done workouts up to about 30k in them, and yeah, they are really comfortable. No worries about chafing. One of the main reasons I like half tights over split shorts for races and long races and running long workouts is because of the protection they offer on the inside of the thigh of any kind of risk of chafing there, and you get that kind of protection with these shorts. So yeah, they're really comfortable. They cost £49 or $57, so not exceptionally cheap, but that's not exceptionally expensive for a really good pair of half tights that have the storage there, so you don't have to use a running belt as well. Good for everyday runs, but like I say, really excel when it comes to those long workouts, or if you're lining up a long race and want all the storage on the back of your waistband there to carry a lot of gels. So for my use in a marathon where I tend to carry like 3 250ml soft flasks with me, there's not quite enough storage on these shorts, but I mean, that is an abnormal use. I carry loads of stuff with me. If you're just going to carry the usual, quite a few gels, maybe one drink, these will do really well for marathons, I think. And then my last pick this month is this Ciele cap from their new Worldwide Movement collection, which is basically a collection of gear related to big cities around the world and mostly related to marathons. So this is a London one for the London Marathon. There's one for Paris as well. I think there's one for LA and Boston. So I'm a big fan. I'm a sucker for commemorative kit. I really like when I do my big marathons, my big target ones, usually it's in London or maybe Berlin or sometimes Valencia. I like a little bit of kit to commemorate it. And also, this is just a really nice cap. Now, Ciele caps have always been really good. Everyone knows Ciele caps make really good caps, but I don't love the fit of their classic 5-brim cap with the flat brim. It just doesn't suit my head shape as much, and this has a different fit. It's got more of a classic baseball style fit. I'm not exactly sure what the fit of this is called. I think Tom knows a bit more about caps than I do, but you've got the curved brim, you've got the tighter hold around the whole head there, and I just prefer this kind of fit, both for looks and comfort on the run. So I've been using these for all my long runs. I've done a 20 miler in this, a 24 miler, like a 30k workout, and you've got this simple toggle for adjusting the fit, which I know some people might not like having the toggle sticking out the side of the head, but I don't mind that, and it's a really quick adjustment to get the right fit, and I really like that. So all in all, it's more or less the perfect cap, which is why I want to flag it up. And then you've got the added bonus of the commemorative element for the London Marathon, which is my big target marathon this half of the year, so I do like that. Got this very breathable mesh on the top, the usual kind of cool wick headband you have with Ciele hats that make sure that you stay nice and sweat free on the run. All in all, it's my new favourite running cap. I thought it was worth flagging up for anyone who is running the London Marathon or one of the other events they commemorate. I think Tom should get the Boston one. I think he'll like it as well. It's his kind of cap. Cap costs $55. I don't think it's available in the UK just yet, but I'm sure it will be coming across Ciele's global sites in the near future. So yeah, that is from their worldwide movement, the new Ciele cap.
Before I get into this one, I'm going to admit it, £50 for a pair of undercrackers might seem, well, yeah, a little bit crackers, and it probably is. So feel free to lambast me in the comments on this for this recommendation. Now, I've also got loads of Under Armour kind of 3-pack running briefs that I love as well. But hear me out on this one first, because these aren't ordinary pants, and I think everyone deserves a little bit of luxury in their life at some point. And for me, that might as well be keeping my nethers comfy when I'm running, just as anything else. So what you get here with these Tracksmith briefs is a high stretch, really soft, fine gauge merino wool that's blended with nylon and elastane, that's lovely and comfy and generally kind of wicks well, dries fast, does all of that really important stuff. There's also no seams here, and that means no chafing. So you can basically slip these chaps on and forget you're wearing them, but just don't forget to put them on. Yeah, so these are the Tracksmith Brighton boxer briefs, super comfortable. Now, I've mentioned it before, but I've got a long-standing problem with my pinky toes. They kind of sit under the toe next to them, and when I run for 6 or 7 or more hours, the impact where I'm landing, it's almost like I'm running on my little toes, and that causes them to do something which is called dehooding. Sounds gross, it really is, but it basically means the skin comes right off, causing me big problems. It's also mighty frustrating because it also makes it hard for me to complete 100-mile ultras and longer races, like the Berlin Wall 100 that I tried last year, where I had to stop at 70 miles to avoid a trip to a Berlin accident and emergency. So anyway, I'm sharing this delightful information because I've been hunting for solutions to that problem. And now most of us have toes that are somewhat cramped. Modern shoes pretty much make it that way. So you don't have to have a problem like mine, quite as extreme as mine, to benefit from this product, which I'm going to tell you about next. And this is the Re-Volve Silicone Toe Spacers. They're a bit like a soft silicone knuckle duster for your feet with these extra pads in between the toes that encourage your toes to spread. Now, I've been sticking these on for around 15 minutes a day for a while now, and I can already see my toes spreading out a little bit in a more kind of splayed setup. So if you struggle with any kind of toe mayhem, for less than £20, this is one possible solution to creating a bit more space between all of your toes, which should mean less problems as you run. Now, I'm usually not all that bothered about the tees that I run in, mainly because I tend to run in a base layer. So I focus mainly on that and having a comfortable layer underneath the t-shirts, and I'll just stick kind of race tees or freebies over the top. But every now and again, I find a tee that's a little bit different and stands out, and I really love it. And this Hoka Aerolite Run short sleeve is one of those. Why? Well, it's just really, really super lightweight and incredibly soft. It's perfect for me to add as a layer over a base layer, but it's also great if you're looking for a featherlight race tee that's got that kind of barely there feel, because the pinhole mesh fabric here is just so really, really wonderfully thin. It doesn't hold moisture, it doesn't get heavy either. The only downside is that it's a little bit see-through in white, so you might want to consider choosing another colour if you're a little bit shy, or you're not going to be wearing a layer underneath like I often do. It's a great one for treadmill runs in a gym where it could be hot. It'll be great in the summer as well when things get toasty. It's also really stashable. So it's good for multi-day adventures. If you want to take spare tees to pack in a bag, that's a really good option. It doesn't weigh anything and it won't take up much space. So that is the Hoka Aerolite short sleeve tee.
So my picks this month are going to be a little bit cheaper. They're good. So my picks this month are going to be a little bit cheaper. I've been trying to find products that are affordable, that you can pick up without spending loads and loads of money, because sometimes we do pick quite expensive things on this video. The first thing I've chosen is these Decathlon Energy Fruit Jellies. Now, I picked these up because I ran out of my precision fuel and hydration gels while I've been marathon training, and I wanted to find something cheap that I could use for my training runs. These, you get 5 of these in a pack for $3.99, really cheap for gels. And there's a bigger pack as well that you can get online, which is $7.99 for 12. So these are little fruit jelly bars. They've got 21 grams in each of the bars. They're just really tasty. They're just like a chewy sweet, basically, that you get plenty of carbs in when you go out. They're not particularly well designed. I wouldn't use this if I was racing. I'd still use gels just because I want something that's quicker and easier. I don't want to have to open the pack and everything. But what I tend to do with these is use them for training. So I might take one before I'm going out to do a marathon training session where I'm going to do a long distance run, or I'll have one of these in my back pocket for a training run where I don't mind stopping, just opening it and having it. I found that they're really tasty. So I have got the citrus version, but I think there's 3 other flavors. So blackcurrant, there's strawberry, and there's pear. So the citrus one's really nice, really, it just tastes like a sweet, basically. No issues keeping it down, just feels really easy to eat, and haven't had any issues with my stomach whilst having these. So if you're looking for a cheap alternative to gels for your training runs, these are just really good and really tasty as well. Annoyingly, I've got quite a few in the house now, and I keep wanting to eat them as just sweets, so been having to stop myself eating them. But yeah, well worth a look if you're looking for cheap alternatives to the more expensive gels out there for your training runs. The next thing I've picked this month is this Karrimor audio belt. Now this is a running belt which I picked up from Sports Direct, which the reason I picked it up is because it's got a really big back section in it and it's quite cheap. So this back section holds my Google Pixel 8 Pro, which is quite big, and also you can fit your keys, you can fit cards and everything in it as well. So you've got one main pocket in there, and you've got another little Velcro pocket that sits inside, so you can split out the stuff that you've got that you're carrying with you. There's also a little slip section at the front that you can put your gels into, which works really well. What I found about this belt is it's really sturdy, so it's quite big. And it really does hold quite nicely against the body, so it doesn't bounce around when you're running in it. So I've really enjoyed it for that. The other thing I'd say though is that it's quite a thick belt, so I definitely wouldn't race in this because I think it would be a little bit sweaty, but for training runs I've been using it quite a bit, and it's absolutely fine. Also found that the belt itself is really easy to adjust and get a nice comfortable fit on it. Sometimes I find that it's quite tricky to get certain belts to fit comfortably, and they get a bit loose when you're running on them. This is a very sturdy belt and works really well. So for the price, this originally costs $17.99, but it's on offer at the moment for $7.99 in Decathlon, which is a great bargain for this belt because I really struggle to find good belts. I've only really ever had a couple of belts that I really like, and very much enjoying this one at the moment. So yeah, well worth looking at if you want a cheap belt that holds a big phone. Okay, my third pick this month is this Kalenji running jacket, sleeveless running jacket. I think it's called the Run Wind. Basically it's £15, but I picked it up for $8.99 at Decathlon. It's sleeveless. The reason I got this is because at the moment the weather's changing quite a lot at the moment. Some days are actually a little bit warmer, but then it gets a bit colder as well. So I'm not enjoying wearing my jackets at the moment because some days I'll take a jacket out and I regret that I've worn the jacket. But it's really windy in Brighton at the moment. So this is a windproof jacket, and I've just found it to be really, really comfortable. For the price, I'm really impressed with how good it is. You have these sections, these mesh sections around the back and the sides, so that it's nice and breathable. I haven't felt it was really sweaty. It has a hood on it, which is really nice for like a gilet, sleeveless gilet. And it's also got a pocket in the side as well, which you can put your keys in and your credit cards and things like that. So I found this to be really good when I'm running out in the wind and I don't want to wear a whole jacket. I like the fact that it's got a hood on it because I normally, when I go out of the house, I'll put the hood up, and then when I start to sweat a bit more, I'll take the hood down. So it's nice to have that on there. And to be honest, for the price, it's just feels really good quality and just works really well. So yeah, well worth picking up if you just want a little bit of light protection from the wind, but you don't want to go the whole hog with a jacket because it might make you too hot and sweaty as we're coming to the spring months. Okay, that's it from us on this monthly roundup. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the little bell, all those things. And if you go to Catch and Blow, you can find a link to our podcast, which comes out at the end of each month. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.